Hey there everybody. I've been getting some requests to teach some of the tunes from my Hair and Hide album. So this week we're going to look at Three Shoes, which is written by Judy Hyman of the Horseflies, a tune that I recorded with Jake Blunt and have been performing on stage with him. So we're going to learn Three Shoes here, and I'll play it to you first and then we'll break it down. Before we go on, there's a few things you can do to help me out. If you can please like this video on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that'd be great. And there's tons more lessons available on Patreon. If you're enjoying this lesson or any other lessons that I've put up online, for just the price of a cup of coffee once a month, you can support me and help me create these lessons for you. So anything from $5, $10, or if you want all of the lessons, $20 a month gives you access to everything. Okay, so that's my version of playing the tune, along with some of my more common variations, a low variation and a high variation that I do most of every time that I play it. Judy wrote this tune, I've heard, while she was kind of lying down on the couch or something like that. So the whole tune, in its original sort of format there, is all in third position. You can kind of imagine just lying back there with your hand up there and trying to make a tune out of where you can reach. So that's kind of fun. I'll play it to you nice and slowly here, so you can get an idea of the three sections without my variations, just the three main sections of the melody here, and then I'll break it down even slower into parts after that, and we'll look at specifically at the bow stroke that's kind of at the center of this tune. All right, here's it nice and slowly. and so on. So it's divided into 3 parts there. The first part is just this. So that's just the first part there, or you could kind of imagine that the next part that follows it is like a variation on the A part there. But I kind of tend to think about it in my brain as a separate part. And then we're reaching across to grab this D note. So the B part. Go into a third part, which goes to the G, that big G chord that we have. Back into the A part there. Okay, so let's break down these parts. First of all, we're kind of in the key of A, although we're using a very strange note for the key of A. Strange for old time and bluegrass music anyhow, is that we're using a B flat note. So we start with our second finger up on the D string, second finger on the note A, and we're often hitting this B flat with our third finger right next to it. So that's a strange mode for an old-time sort of themed tune, which is something that's kind of cool about this. So keep that in mind. The first part here is basically working around with this bow stroke that I think Judy Hyman calls the flutter bow. It's basically like... So we're actually playing every single bow stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But one of them is kind of ghosted. That one. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So bow stroke number 2, down, up. The up is kind of, we're releasing the pressure and we're just sort of ghosting along to get back to the downward direction. So practice that rhythm along with me. Let's try that with our second finger on the note A. All right, we're very close to having the whole A part sort of sorted out now. We just need to combine that with these notes. So we've got A, B flat, G, A, B flat, G, A. 3, 4. All right, so we repeat that initial phrase 3 times, and then we have an ending phrase, and that's our whole A part. The ending phrase. I'm changing my bow there a little bit. I'm going... Without the notes, that's... All right, that's our A part. Okay, let's have a look at our B part here. So we have a very similar bow stroke idea. With these ghosted notes. The ghost here is there and here. And then we have a long bow stroke there. So 1, 2, 3. Ghost, ghost. 2, 3. Ghost. Sorry. I'm trying to say at the same time. Ghost, ghost. So we're just reaching across with our first finger to hit the note D, first finger on the A string. And then we're going back to our and then our same ending. All right, moving to the third part now. We're going to root our third position there with the first finger this time on the note G. We're going to reach across for that octave with our pinky finger. So this is a really hard one to get in tune for me. So again, we're sort of working with that similar bow stroke. Between each phrase where we have the G note, which is this, we have an answering phrase. So our first answering phrase is sort of 2, 3, open A. Back to the G note. And then our answering phrase 1, 2, open. Back to the G note phrase. Same as the first answer. And then we have a slightly different ending. So that last one. That takes a little bit of getting used to. My advice would definitely be to sort of play it along and just sing it along as many times as you can. Back into the A section there. So remember, it's basically all separate bows, aside from one little moment in the B section. So in that last section, the third section, right? It's all just keeping that separate going, but making sure that you have that groove with the emphasis on the third beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I hope that helps demystify a little bit of that three shoes for you.